All right, let's do this. Let me turn up the mic for Alex. Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
I got you. Live. Coming from live. You need to do your movie voice and introduce.
Live from New York. It's Saturday night. But it's not Saturday.
Not Saturday.
It's not Saturday. We'll get there.
So how you doing, brother?
I'm good.
Not that I haven't been talking to you all day.
I know. It's been a heck of a day. Good day going through stuff, and it's just been a good day. It's a good day. It's a little bit rainy out. I'm in Georgia over here, so a little bit of rain, a little bit of sunshine, but taking it.
Sorry, trying to clear my voice here. Got a little froggy frog going on or something.
A little bit of that COVID.
Oh, I hope not. That's not funny.
That is not funny. It kind of is though.
Nope, they just tagged. They just tagged the stream. They're gonna have to put the
Oh yeah, that's right.
You have to put the thing on it now.
Oh
About
no,
misinformation.
I was looking after my daughter's Tamagotchi and it passed away from sickness, and I don't. It's not even Tamagotchis are getting it. So hopefully not. So GraphLink, huh?
Yeah, man. Let me bring you in on the video stream.
All right.
This is why we're testing it now, because
It's good. It's good stuff.
bingo bango, there you are.
Hey,
Welcome to the screen. Yeah, there we go. We got Black Chicken in the Twitchers chat. Yeah. That's fantastic. He does some great commentary on my AMAs when I do them.
Oh gosh. Well, feel free to comment. No autographs, please. Just throw tips.
Nice.
You know how it is. I love streaming. I've never streamed my own stuff. I've always just been on other people's streams. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I'm stoked. I'm stoked to be here. I'm stoked to chill out and see what GraphLink's all about. Get things adjusted.
Why are you here? Let's start with that.
I'm Alex, and I'm an idiot. Like, this is the typical dumb, not a coder at all, looking at GraphLink, checking this thing out. I see what it promises, and I want to see how this goes together. I want to see what this is like, what it's all about. I've held GraphLink token for a while. Well, since I met you, to be honest. So I've held it for a hot minute. It's just a matter of, okay, like, usually in the crypto space, because I'm not like completely new to the crypto space, that's for sure. But use case is the term that gets thrown around religiously in this space, as if like a lot of these moon boys want use, you know, like they want use, they want this, that, and the other. But having been in some different projects and really diving into the actual cult that crypto has become, you see a lot of projects that have some amazing stuff associated with them, and very little attention is actually brought to what those projects are actually useful for until like way down the road. Like, your project's got to live through it's got to be dragged through the ditch at least for a year or two before people actually start focusing on, oh, well, wait, this is actually useful, we can do this. And if the project doesn't have that catalyst moment where people are able to associate a full use case for that project with that token and that token's value, it's kind of like a hit or miss. It becomes pump or dump, or a shit coin, if you will. So I'm really excited about GraphLink. I do, you know, one, you've hyped it up a lot. So if you're causing my expectations to go astray here, I'll be very disappointed. But just given my honest appeal to GraphLink itself, and having done like a quick skim of the page, I'm stoked. I'm excited about this. I want to see what I can learn from this, and hopefully, you know, my feedback associated with your deving abilities and whatnot, we're able to get a few things lined up and focused on the site to make it a little bit more user friendly. Are you okay over there, man?
I don't know what's going on.
I can't do CPR from here.
So I guess the first question would be, you know, you checked out the website and you gave it the typical crypto once over. You know, you didn't read the white paper. You didn't dive fully in.
I have not been diving in. I bought out of sheer aping, right?
Nice.
I'm your literal degen. Like, I will ape into something that looks interesting, and just like anybody else, it was something that, you know, I jumped in because a friend informed me of it, right? That's
right.
The majority of your projects is a friend announces it. This is what I stand by, and you jump into that. But, you know, going to the site, I see the beautiful, like, just critiquing the site in its own. I mean, it's great. It's the perfect crypto site, right? And I've been to thousands of crypto project sites, and it's all about, like, you want to capture people's attention in a matter of seconds when they're on the site. That site appeal is huge. Obviously, roadmaps are, like, I think people put way too much weight in a roadmap. there's some roadmaps out there with some serious promises in them that I'm just like, you're absolutely crazy. You are crazy, especially in the NFT space, right? That's kind of how you and I met in the NFT space. And when I see roadmaps that are like, we're gonna have a full-fledged metaverse video game if we sell out, and you look at the sellout ratio, it's like, it's about $1.5 million. It's gonna be a Dollar General style metaverse that you're working in there. But GraphLink's roadmap, look, I'm not seeing it. I'm just kind of seeing, hey, we're here, we're open, we're live, like we are. This is GraphLink. We are on the table, ready to go.
Yeah, it's under the documentation link. At one time, it was actually on the links in the site, but when we added the marketplace, we reduced the number of links to be able to fit that in there. So that's a good point, because you are not the first person to ask, where is the roadmap?
Where's the roadmap?
Maybe we'll look at bringing that back.
Where are the promises you might keep? No, I'm just kidding. That's what it's a lot of these. This is you guys are gonna get it honest. You're gonna get it honest. If you're watching me and paying attention to what I say, it's gonna be as honest as a heart attack, and means you're just getting it. It's gonna happen. So should I share my screen? Do you want me to share my screen as I go through this page? And
sure, you can do that. The first question in the chat is, did you not even open the IDE, or did you get that far?
Dude, no. I am a GraphLink virgin here. All right. I have you brought this to me, and I was like, I just want to see. I've seen jr00t working on it before in past calls with share screen and things like that, stuff we were going through. And I have seen like this is what I'm working on. This is GraphLink. This is what it looks like, yada, yada. But it was not a full intro. It was just passing in conversation. I'm like, yeah, that's great, jr00t. How about this other thing that we're working on, or what other stuff is going on in your life, right? I mean, as friends do, right? It's for us, a lot of our communication is about music and NFTs and just crazy projects and crypto. So this is cool. I feel like I'm getting quite the intro by somebody that really is passionate about this project. And I'm excited to see what the fruits of the labor are, and what you guys have put together in the marketplace. So to answer the question, this build on our IDE, nope, not at all. Not that, not go to marketplace, go to interface. I did stake some some GraphLink for a while. I did a little bit of staking, and I just kind of like held it there, but it was like 5%. And I'm a trader and I'm ape. So I'm like, let's ape into this other thing, but I am holding GraphLink. I want to see what this thing's about. I want to see the use case. So,
all right, rock on. I like that. That's what we're here for. But yeah, if you want to share your screen, you can definitely kind of give your once over to it. And before we were talking before we started the stream, and you were kind of like giving your impression of what you can do with the platform based on what you saw.
Oh, I'm doing it.
So you basically so you basically saw like, hey, you can connect blocks and do things, and you got a little bit of a taste of it. But
yeah, let's see. Make sure you're able to see my screen here.
Nice, you're good.
Yep. All right. Yeah. So one, I want to be clear. None of this is FUD. This is just your honest, real life. Let's go. So if I say something that seems FUD, please do not do it. Don't unleash all of y'all's hacking abilities on me. And don't come hunt me down.
Our community will attack you. Just FYI.
Grab your torch and pitchforks. Let's go find this Alex cat and rip him apart. Like, I'm down. I'm sorry. All right. The no-code protocol for building on blockchain. Automate and perform over hundreds of actions based on events triggered on-chain and off-chain. All right. Let's see.
What does that even mean to you?
That doesn't mean a goddamn thing. Let me diagnose this here. Like, what do we got? Automate and perform. So I can automate and perform hundreds of actions based on events triggered on-chain and off-chain. All right, cool. I like the triggering that we got going on. And to me, when I read this right off, it means we're building bots, right? We're going to build a bot that's going to do something for me. And immediately, of course, I'm seeing Telegram, and I'm seeing your pancake swaps and your unicorns and all that jazz. You got all your DEX over here, decentralized exchanges. So we got all those lined up. That's good. Create powerful crypto tools.
Dex. We need to share that clip so that people can get that reference of Dex.
Just look up what is it? New Zealand Dexstain. That's what it is. New Zealand Dexstain. It's a great advertisement. But create powerful crypto tools for a fraction of a penny. Execute your graph. Okay, so this is interesting to me because so I'm going to create something, but it will cost me something, but it's a fraction of a penny, and it's going to be
what's nice right now is the platform is actually being given away for free at the moment, so you're going to get the chance to dive in and get the full experience without having to actually spend your GLQ on using it.
Dope. Okay, so create powerful crypto tools. I can think of 1,000 crypto tools. Like, you know this. How many times have I've been in a tirade? J-Root, I've been thinking of this thing. We really got to get this. And J-Root's like, oh, geez, I don't know. That's a lot. It ends up being the other way around a lot of times. But yeah, creating powerful crypto tools. I got 1,000 things I would love to make into tools. Pre-made templates, cool. 180 logical blocks by simply dragging and dropping to create the equivalent of hundreds of lines of code in minutes. So I already have like that red flag in my head of, well, I'm going to have to know a little bit about coding, right? Because you can't just, like when you're thinking of the architecture of a program, like you're not thinking line by line, you're thinking, I need this to go to this. And that's like the very layman's way that I would think of it as somebody that's not a coder. And then breaking that down, I can think a little bit, well, I'd want it to go to this page. I'd want it to pull this type of data, and I would want it to filter that data perhaps. And then I would want it to creating a token or NFT, alerting over social media or mobile, and much more based on the events triggered in blockchain. I like how vague it is, and but that's a really broad brush to paint. It's a really broad brush to paint. Build, visualize, automate tasks. All right,
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
Yeah, give me a little feedback on am I far off on my understanding of what your homepage front piece is actually breaking down for me here?
We've got, just to give a shout out, we've got Frederick, the co-founder of GraphLink, in the chat.
Welcome, sir. Pleasure.
Yeah, it's a good introduction. You can actually see what Alex looks like. It's all clean cut and ready to rock.
Yeah, let me bump back to camera and while you go through some of these descriptors, because I'm sure y'all are familiar with this homepage. I mean, most of the people that are watching this are going to be familiar with this homepage, and hopefully some new people come in, they'll follow on the webpage to see what's actually going on. But how far off am I? What are my thoughts?
No, I mean, you make some good points. The descriptions are very general, and what does that really mean to you? But automating and blockchain and off-chain data, and you can see definitely there's some exchanges involved. There's some dexes and some of the messaging websites. I mean, I think one of the places that you see the value is the Telegram and Discord integration. That's something we've talked a lot about. I know you have some ideas about Alex got long arms. What's up with that? Somebody wrote that in the chat. Do you have really long arms?
If you're familiar with Stretch Armstrong, the toys, I'm gonna tell you they have really sweet internals. If you ever bite into one of those, so perhaps it's that. I don't know. I'm not saying I ate much, but a radioactive spider was small too. Okay, so I might attribute to the long arms, but my elasticity is not exactly amazing, that's for sure. Anyways, that's a great question. Fair.
Fair question.
I critique the site, they critique my physique. I'm totally down with this. Like, this is good. This is solid.
So, I guess if you want to give a little introduction about yourself and why you think you are going to be, you kind of did already, about why you're a good person to go through the platform as a total newbie. So I mean, yeah, the big things we talked about in the chat were you have zero coding experience, and basically you're under the guise of, can I really do this with a platform and not having to learn code? I mean, that's basically where you're coming from.
Oh yeah, yeah. I would be a consumer, like flat, plain and simple. I would be a consumer if I knew about this and if I knew it were possible. So, plan to be a consumer, and that's what I'm hoping. You know, going through series after series with this, I have total faith that jr00t will show me the ways, and then hopefully along the way, we can bring some simplification to others that are very similar to me. You know, I'm a part of a lot of different communities. You know, a bunch of different Discord communities, be it gaming or crypto, and NFTs. A lot of NFT communities, and there's always that pull for information. Data is front and center in what we do in any crypto community. It should be. If you're aping into something, you should be able to see a little bit of the data, and you're going to want to see that data almost real time. You're going to want to check the stats, and some of those stats are very beneficial to see as they're happening, right? Plus, I've had a lot of crazy ideas that I would love to have a dev code. If I didn't need a dev to code it, and I could truly go into GraphLink and produce that, then it would be surreal. It really would be surreal. So yeah, my introduction, I guess. Been in the military 13 years, probably getting out this coming spring. Intel analyst, studied foreign language. What happened?
Sorry, I was laughing. Somebody wrote "when seed phrase."
When seed phrase? Oh gosh.
No, I actually have myself on mute because I swear whenever I do a stream, there's somebody doing lawn work and there's like leaf blowers going, and it's just every single time. It's only when I'm on stream. Like, honestly, I'll do calls and it won't happen, but when I'm on stream, it's always like, hey, we gotta do it.
Yeah, I think you're testing all the laws of life when you turn anything on live, like what's going to happen. Earthquakes, fires, explosions, just be mindful, you know? Yeah. So
yeah, so you see the...
What do you want to know?
Your job of what you've done, you are very keenly aware of the power of data, and specifically how to consume large amounts and how to use it effectively, because it's you know, it's great if you have lots of data, but if you have your data all in different places, or if it's not in a format that allows you to actually analyze it and work on it, it's kind of useless. So you kind of really come from that school of knowledge in terms of that.
Yeah, you want it to be as close to real-time data as possible, and you want it to be in the most brief format possible, and you want it to be information that you could take action on. And that's crypto trading 101. I mean, that's life 101. First off, you want to be able to plan and strategize, and you want to be able to react appropriately. So having any kind of heads up of what's going to go down, that's paramount. And it's no different in the crypto space, right? I mean, you could at any time there could be a token that drops, and if you're able to identify it and buy in, ape in at the right time, or know when a token's going to rise or fall, you know, the sooner you get that information, the sooner it's actionable, the better. And having that information for your community as well, I think, is paramount. I think that's something that I like about the descriptions of GraphLink, is what it's describing is, hey, you can build those alerts, in a sense. Like this is building your alerts, it's building your notifications, and from my reading, it's a whole lot more than that. So I'm really stoked. I'm also incredibly skeptical. I'm so skeptical, but I love it. And the beauty is, working with jr00t, working with you, is the stuff that I'm skeptical about, or the things that we see. What if we did this, or maybe somebody in the community that watches these or pays attention to this would be like, I just had an awesome idea. Let's put that to graph and let's do this and produce it. I think that makes all this worthwhile. And yeah, so brainstorming, knowledge bump, creativity. Let's go. I'm LFG, bro. Let's do this.
I think your explanation though of what you said about how important being able to consume and use that data real time and actionable in the real world is important, and that, like, the way you describe that is basically what the goal of GraphLink is, in terms of the data side of it. And then the other goal is, as you know, trying to get somebody like you who is not a coder to be able to do the same kind of tasks that a coder would, but without the coding knowledge. So I feel like you've got a pretty good understanding and actually do really see the vision of where I think internally GraphLink we want to go, and also where you, like, really where your skills kind of are going to meet this platform to turn into something pretty great. And also you have a really good pulse on the crypto community. You're in a lot of different chats, and you see a lot of use cases where creating something that interacts with a Telegram group or a Discord group, being able to integrate that there's some value that basically you could see these groups wanting, and you really already have some ideas of what, in the future, once we get past the initial here's how you connect a block, part of it, then there are definitely some ideas that you would like to build. I'm really looking forward to that, because I think that we can create some stuff that afterwards we can go shill it to those communities and show them, hey, we can integrate this kind of thing for your platform and get some real world people using these in chat and show off the platform.
Especially if we're especially if we're building a competitive edge here, right? Everybody needs bots. Literally everybody needs bots. And there are bots for just about everything that are supposed to be as simple as go, click, yes, invite to server, invite to Telegram, exclamation point, config, things of that nature that are kind of simple, but the bots, a lot of them just suck. I think with a platform like this, what I would want it to be is that one-stop shop. You know what I'm saying? Where, hey, they have this many individuals that have already produced bots that are fulfilling that customer need. Just click one and just go through the process there. And if it doesn't exist exactly how you want it, it's as easy as dragging and dropping to produce that product, like to put that product together. Producing a product is a little redundant, but you feel me. It's
yeah.
You want it to be that competitive point where if you're doing anything crypto, GraphLink, I need a crypto bot, GraphLink. And that's how I would pursue this platform. That's how I would try to improve this platform, is to develop as the one-stop shop. You want to do an NFT drop? Sweet. GraphLink. Go to GraphLink. Drag and drop. How many are you doing? When do you want them released? Do you want royalties? You want to collaborate? What do you want to do? You want to do a cryptocurrency? All right. Is it deflationary? What are you doing? Is it auto inflationary? How are we doing these? Is it, what's your liquidity going to be set at? Where's it going to be? Obviously I'm kind of rambling in that sense, but I think it's important to understand that, like, if we're developing a site like GraphLink and we're going to be pushing this thing to mass use and have that use case, has to be useful 110%, and should be Googleable. I should be able to Google bot for this and GraphLink pops up, or Google build bot with GraphLink for this, and then it's there. I'm able to do a walkthrough, or I find this video, or obviously videos like this that we're hoping to go through and produce, so that I can see how this works and just beat the hell out of the site. I really want to. I really want to run this thing into the ground. This is great.
Yeah, no, one of the things you said, I think that's really great to expand on is that at any time you can take your graph and, let's just say it does A. You can open that graph up and make some changes and add B and C to it. So as you learn and as you see how your use case evolves, you have the ability to expand on those graphs, but also as more blocks and integrations are added to the platform, you can continue to keep adding on to those graphs. So really the idea is that power's there. It's just how do you want to utilize it? How do you want to organize the blocks into something that's usable and make things happen?
Dope.
So I'm gonna open if there's anything that you wanted to touch on about what you're seeing, what your expectations are, or anything. Because I think those were my main questions for you. Who are you? What do you do? What makes you a good person to use this platform and go through it? And kind of got a little of your understanding of expectations and some of your long-term ideas too. So I think that's pretty much everything. So yeah, if there's anything that you want to throw out there other than your excitement for getting into the building part of it, which is going to be next. So our next stream is going to be a first dive into the IDE. I mean, you're more than welcome to open it now and really feel that sense of like, all right, what do I do now? But yeah, I mean, the goal is after that we're gonna do some basic blocks of just starting a graph and getting it to actually just at least print out some data, and we'll get a price from one of the price sites and return the price and just see. And I think probably a good example too would be hooking up a Telegram bot or a Discord bot and going through that, because there is some connections that you have to make, and it's like anything with integrating a bot. You have to get your bot key, your API key, and you have to be able to do that. And I think that going through that process is going to be helpful for some people because they've never done a bot in Telegram or Discord.
Yeah, I think that's what I guess I'd like to outline, as this first session. I see some questions about NFTs. That's great. I'll touch on that. But I think when you see anything that has to do with producing a program, you obviously can't go from not understanding anything about programming whatsoever into producing that, right? So regardless of if you're writing the code or you're not writing the code, there's the simplicity behind it, but you still got to know a little bit. You still got to understand a little bit of how the architecture should line up and what these different nodes should be doing to produce that result, right? Starting with a necessary product and working your way backwards through the code or through this build structure, I think is what a lot of people are going to do. It's very simple. It's how do I get this product? And then it's almost working backwards to engineer it to get to that product. So yeah, I think the first and foremost skepticism that I have is that me personally, with no coding experience, I've started a coding course before, but obviously haven't finished it, or I'd tell you. But getting into the coding world without actually dealing with the coding itself is crazy. Like I think I'm excited about it. I'm also very skeptical at the ease of use. And however, I guess not and, however, if the site is efficient enough, and if the methodology is outlined well enough, and if templates exist in a dummy-proof scenario to where someone like Alex can say, I need a bot that does this, can go in, open up GraphLink, and push these nodes appropriately, like that's huge. That's fantastic. That's not reinventing the wheel. That's building a machine to make wheels for you. And I think it's really important. So I think that's kind of like one of the major outcomes I'd like to see happen is, being able to use it and use it effectively as a tool, you know.
Well, that's really there's really three parts to the platform that allow it to exist um, on a scale in terms of like its usability for like what your skill level is. So you already know you have the IDE, which you kind of have an understanding. There's blocks and you need to move them around and connect them, and you can make things happen. But there's also two other things. You did talk about the marketplace. So the marketplace is going to give you the ability to download a template that somebody else has already made, and that's really going to kind of kickstart your ability to jump into the IDE with it. But we also do have a template wizard, which is in the app, and what that allows you to do is pick one of the templates that we offer through the app interface, and it basically asks you in like a form, like you would fill out, you know, a contact form on a website. It asks you just, hey, fill in these 2, 3, 4 variables, press submit, and it will then go ahead and launch that graph for you. So, and you never need to actually even go into the IDE. You can actually do all of that without even having to see the IDE, which you know, for some people that can overwhelm some people. So the idea there too is having, you know, for lack of a better word, kind of a dummy proof, where you're not dealing with connecting blocks. You're basically just making an attempt to fill out a form that you already know it's going to do XYZ. You just need to provide it with like the you know, the contract address for the token, or you need to provide your bot ID or whatever it is. So there is also that aspect to it too, which I think is worth playing around in, because what's great about it is that after you've seen it work and you've gotten it to the point where, cool, I put in my values, I press submit, the graph ran, it did what it was supposed to do, you can actually then edit that on the IDE. So for me, one of the ways that I love to learn stuff is, all right, give me the end product, show me what it did, and allow me to pull up then the back end of it and see it, to then say, okay, it did this. Here's where it did that in the code. And that's just the way that I learn. I'm able to kind of put those two together. But just in terms of, you know, as a learning experience, I've found that for me, that works as a way. Now, obviously, we want to move in a direction together of creating better documentation.
Right.
And
Well, because you just said a very a key phrase there. I know where it's at, and I look at the code, and remember, old Alex Poo over here. I'm not going to be able to pull it up and look at the code, and perhaps you know, I'm not a total idiot. Like I said, I could perhaps look at code and I could kind of see like what I was running into to an extent. Like I'm pretty good at problem solving, but it's completely different when we're talking about, there could be some pretty intense algorithmic things taking place that I'm not going to know how to talk to this thing and get the beep boops to line up, get that beep boop beep to actually give me the final beep, you know? So I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the challenge. So somebody asked for socials. I did post up my Twitter that I operate on as far as cryptocurrency and whatnot.
Now you're in the Telegram chat. I've managed to squeeze you into there, so you can find him in the unofficial chat, the official chat, and I think I grabbed you into the developer chat too, which is a great place because you can interact with people who are attempting to use the IDE and are running into questions. And I think that's going to help us form some of the things that we need to focus on, creating some videos for, maybe updating some of the documentation and making it easier to use. So it's really, it's just, there's so many different facets that we're trying to hit on.
Well, yeah. And I think, remember, at the end of the day too, I want to see GraphLink succeed to the absolute utmost ability. I do, and that's why I'm going to be as hard as it gets on this thing. It's just like any other project, any other mission, any other team that I've worked with. I'm I'm going to get to the skinny of it, to the best of my ability, and make sure if it can help me, then it could help others as well, especially when it comes to using the platform. And I think ease of use, user interface, like your UIX is a lot. Just selling tokens, your UI is everything. Like how that looks, just booting up the page, and I'm like, oh yeah, we got some blocks up here at the top that are spinning as I'm scrolling down, and I got a little bit of that synth pop going on in the background with the mesh. I love it. I love it. But having that IDE and getting into that, yeah, I'm stoked about it. There were some other questions that I saw. Who was it? What plans he got to make his NFTs one of the top tiers? Oh, okay. So make your NFT like a top tier, like the apes. I would love to see it. Working with Diamond Oddities, I'd love to see that fly. I mean, it's incredible art. Like a lot of people are, like I said, hung up on the use case scenario and whatnot. But with NFTs, people have to appreciate there's really solid art, and I like the 3D art. As far as what I'm gonna do, I don't know. Shill it into the ground, boys. Let's send it. Send it. But yeah, I'm a collector of all things strange and obscure. I got some crazy collections, J-Root. I got some crazy stuff. But NFTs, crypto, all of it. I love it. I love the space. I love the digital world, and I like
Yeah,
being able
that's
to
fun. That's
dip
actually
in and
one
out.
of the things we can definitely do is mint an NFT using the GraphLink platform. Because basically, you're a consumer, a buyer, a trader of NFTs, and you have kind of had a little experience where I was doing some Solidity programming, and we were coming up with the functionality we needed in the smart contract. And uh, you've always kind of been on that side of it, so it would be really cool to do a mint of an NFT. We could make an Alex official code no code stream NFT for
I'm
our
down.
subscribers.
Yeah, I'm down. I think it'd be great. I think that should be one of our first projects, honestly. My connection with, I have really, really good friends in the NFTs.tips community. If anyone is looking at NFTs, that's the thing. You're gonna, it's a crypto chat here. I understand. There's a lot of maxis out there that are like NFTs or this, that, and the other. I don't care. It's fun. It's a great time. But if you are into NFTs, the non-fungible life, I would absolutely check out NFTs.tips. Great community, lots of good learning, but really good friends with them. And I'd love to, as we go through these, pull a couple of them in, be like, yo, let's have this chat. You got to see this thing. This is what I made this. Look, mom, no hands, like I built this all
Look,
by my
mom, no
very
code.
own, which is funny because that's what I see, talking about look, mom, no hands. I feel like that's why we have such a streaming sensation these days, especially with COVID and whatnot. People like seeing other gamers because it's kind of like, and they like streaming because it's kind of like if you ever, I was a kid, I would get good at a game and I would play through a level and it was amazing. And I'd want to show somebody, be like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. But you can't have friends over that week or whatever the case might be. There's nobody to show it to. Well, now there is. And I think it's really changed society. But yeah, just like a side note, I'm really excited about getting into this for the NFT side of things too, and seeing, if I can recommend this to other individuals. Say, hey, if you're doing a drop, if you're wanting to put together a project and you've got a community, get on it, hop into this and check out GraphLink, because you can produce your own stuff, and it's it's almost completely like dummy proof. That's a goal. Dummy proof, Alex proof. I'll even say it like that. It's Alex proof.
I was gonna pull up the IDE, but my my wallet's not signed into the browser, so
Yeah,
I'd have to pull that off
Genesis
screen.
collection, Genesis collection on GLQ. I'm totally down. I'd love it. I'd love to put some art out there and do some different things. I've got my own stuff. A lot of my friends do. I've got a lot of friends into NFTs, but I'm always looking for strange and obscure NFT collections and things like that. And that's why Diamond Oddities hits so hard for me at home, because it's like, this is just this macabre, dude. This is great. But yeah, the artist there is a really cool cat. So enough about NFTs. Is it cold
Well,
here?
it's
It's
hard.
getting
It's hard not to talk about NFTs due to the fact that they really are the thing of the day, and their popularity. I mean, even if you don't want to be part of that whole thing, you can't really avoid it right now.
well in the communities that are backing a lot of these. I mean, that, Like that's what springs the avatar, that's what your avatar is. Your avatar is only as valuable as it is to your community. You know what I'm saying? Like, and NFTs, there's the avatar side of things, there's the collector side of things, there's the almost the Pokemon or Magic card collector style of things. Those are all, we just have like the perfect storm right now. We've got the perfect storm of, this is a crypto token of sorts, but it's also this image that I can relate to and then I can share, and it makes me a member of this community. And I love it. I love that. And I'm really stoked to be in the Graphling community. It says a poor, yeah, novelty factor is definitely a thing. It definitely is. And there are so many there's so many cliches right now going around, so many buzzwords. It makes my head spin. I can't keep up with it. And exponentially, that's your gas cost for Ethereum if you're into that. He also asked, is it cold in the US? Where I'm at, it's not so much. It was about 70s today, but I'm down in Georgia, so it's going to be a little bit warmer here than it is up by jr00t up northeast.
I haven't gone outside. I'm a developer, man. I'm a coder. I'm a nerd. I'm a hacker. Like I have not gone outside. I have no idea. It's probably cold.
It needs that outside shit. We don't need to go out there.
I don't need that. I'm sure it probably is a little chilly out, but I mean, I personally just my computers keep me warm. I close the door in my office, and just all the computers running are just keeping me warm right now.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, like, I don't even want to talk about it, but the gas prices on Ethereum, and then today the ENS drop has really today has really skyrocketed gas prices because I believe that made another high again. And yeah, man. So if you owned a .eth domain, you got airdropped the ENS token, so check your wallet. Actually, well, you didn't get airdropped. You got access to get the token, which means you have to claim it. So, depending on how much,
$900.
$900.
You can have this airdropped item. Yeah, that's rough. This gas, man. Good old gas out there. How does that? Yeah, that's an interesting direction. I noticed that GLQ is on Polygon now, and Maddox is only good as its bridge. I will tell you that right now. That's how I feel personally. It's only as good as its bridge, unless there's liquidity somewhere that allows you to purchase right from USDT directly into layer 2. You're at the mercy of, oh, I've got to move this money, and then I have to move this money again. And a lot of individuals to push the MetaMask, right? They're pushing from generally like a Coinbase account. So they'll take their Coinbase account and they'll shoot their Ethereum over to their MetaMask account. All right, there's a transaction fee. And then they want to push it from Ethereum down to layer 2. And that's going to be a transaction fee because now you're paying the bridge.
I don't know if you noticed this, but Coinbase released their own browser plugin wallet.
I did see that.
So that is interesting. It's very basic, especially compared to MetaMask.
Well, you still have to push it to that Ethereum wallet. So unless there's a direct purchase from that wallet, which I haven't seen yet, I'm sure it's in the works.
Yeah, but I know that Coinbase is they kind of subsidize the gas fees because they're running nodes, I'm guessing. So they basically are picking up the transactions and running them through. So you do get a little cheaper.
Okay. Yeah. It's interesting. This is a crazy time, man. This is a time to be alive, watching this entire sweep of the crypto space and where it's all coming up at. But yeah, Graphlink. I definitely see this being one of the more useful programs out there. Just at face value. Obviously, I haven't dove into it too much, but being able to grab a bot that I need to alert me of certain things at any particular Discord or Telegram, I think that's completely relevant.
Well, and you can do more than just alert too. I mean, I can't really wait to get into that, to expand on some of the things that can happen both on and off chain with data, being able to take some actions and make decisions and make it do things so that you're basically automating that task for you of of when things happen. I'm curious as to what this question is. I'm actually going to switch stream and just bring the audio over into the other scene, if you will, real quick. But this question in the chat, so other blockchains will follow suit. You're going to see Solana and ADA as well. Hang on, let me paste in this reference. There you go. I got you in here now. Should have audio still.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can, but that doesn't mean anyone else can.
True.
I see your mic level moving, so I'm gonna guess that I just moved into the one where I can actually make you full screen, and then if you're sharing your screen, it makes it a lot easier to see. Yeah. So what was that question in reference to about Solana? And
so I think it was like the .eth. I think it was like if you get the .eth, are they gonna follow suit for the different names? I think I may be wrong.
Pretty sure ENS's contract and a lot of their stuff is open source. You can go and grab it. I'm actually surprised we haven't seen more domains, more projects pick up a domain.
Well, let's do it for GLQ. Can we do that right now? You want to walk
right
me
now.
through that want to walk me through that on the bots? Let's do a written on GLQ layer 2, make it cheap, and do your .glq domain. It's coming. Somebody's gonna want to do it, or somebody's going to do it. If your site can do that, you're gonna see some stuff like that popping up. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm gonna ask the dumbest questions, and
I'm looking forward to that because I think that it's really going to help out for. There's a lot of people that don't feel comfortable sometimes asking questions. So doing these kinds of projects from the absolute no knowledge side of it is also really good for me because I sometimes start 12 steps ahead and I need to kind of back up and realize that, there are people who are going to start before where my mind is at of where I'd start explaining things.
Yeah. Well, I'm not afraid to ask jr00t all of the questions and be as naive as possible, or as naive as I esteem. It's probably because I am that naive when it comes to coding. And I think it's good to see like people have these fantastical ideas and seeing them either shot to trash by a dev saying that's insane, that is way too much program, Alex, that would take a year and a half to build, to see and appreciate that level of coding, that talent, as well as like, oh look, I'm not the only person in the world that wants to see that happen or is wondering how that happens. And I think the creativity factor is something that I hope people pick up on. I hope there's oh my gosh, I never thought of it like that. Let's build that. Let's do that thing. Especially when it comes to GLQ. Because like I said, I want to see everybody succeed, making friends in the space already. I really want to see, I think more people need to see the use cases on this, see them skyrocket. But
you're being asked for your socials again in the chat, so you might want to paste that. One of the things I will do is I will add your socials to jr00t.com, put you on there.
Yeah, I don't do much with social media as far as like Instagram and Facebook. I keep most of that stuff private, right? That's my private life. It has nothing to do with crypto. And oh my gosh, this is a picture of my 2 cats I just got, my child, right? That's the stuff I kind of keep locked down. But as far as Twitter, you can reach me on Twitter all the time. And if we continue streaming and people enjoy it, I might open up a channel of my own, open up my own gig and do those as well for when jr00t's too busy or offline or reeing out. Still be able to hop on and have some conversation and go.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you really should do an NFT stream. Would be really great.
Yeah, if people want to see it, I will. I was thinking of doing a roast this NFT stream where people can submit their NFT projects and we just roast it, all in good fun. Like I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like fudding. I hate it. I hate it when people FUD each other's projects. I saw that really early on.
Well, what's crazy though is that everything, especially with art and stuff, it's so subjective. Yeah. So I mean, like, it's very difficult for somebody to to rip apart an NFT project in that sense. You know, there's no white paper to critique. There's no
There
use
are on a lot of
case.
them now.
I mean, now they're getting to
Yeah.
that point. I mean, you really
Yeah.
have to. The whole market really has evolved in the last couple of months. You know, before you could easily just pump out a generative picture of an ape with a different background color and that go well. And nowadays the market's kind of matured a little bit. And,
Yeah. You better be careful with that one. You're gonna have all the apes coming after you.
oh, I know.
Like,
Oh,
all
I know.
10,000 of them. It's not 10,000. There are people with many.
Bring them
Yeah.
on. I'll turn them into
Yeah.
GLQ lovers. That's fine.
Yeah, let's do glq.ape. Let's or ape.glq. I don't know. We'll give it our white paper will be access to our bathroom. That's it's amazing. That's just such a beautiful niche. I love it. It's funny. It's degen. I can dig it. But yeah, I'd do more streaming. I'd do more streaming about NFTs and whatnot. I like one of my favorite pastimes is going through Hen, Hiketnok. It's like here and now, I think is what it actually means. And I like going through there and finding projects that are like 1 TES, excuse me, like 1 TES or less, and just like buying up their floor. Just, oh man, you make people's days. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. And then just kind of like disappearing into the dark, and you see him on Twitter like, who did this? Who bought who bought all this stuff? And it's fun. It's not just, I mean, it's kind of like reverse Pokemon cards or reverse Pogs in a sense, where it's like you're buying other people's Pogs instead of giving them Pogs and they get excited. I think it's really cool. It's really neat. You can find some really cool communities and everybody's really open. And that's a lot of the reason I hate FUD, right? Like because you see that in the I'll call it the shitcoin, because it is what it is. In the shitcoin community or low market cap community, is they'll go and they like FUD each other's projects. But it's like, why are you doing that? Like, isn't it us versus them? It's like we're supposed to be building decentralized world and a new form of payments and all of these different things, but it turns into this gnashing of teeth, for no reason whatsoever. Like, there's plenty of market cap to be grabbed out there, guys. If your project is good and you promote it instead of shilling it, and you can show what its use case is, or just, hey, this is what we're buying, let's all ape in because we're homies and this is our community, then go for it. Go for it. If GLQ put out a 10,000 generative project tomorrow and there's that many people in chat, 5,000, whatever, if you figure 10% of them buy multiples of these, like GLQ just built themselves an NFT community that can identify themselves. They can identify themselves as GraphLink users based on their avatars. And that's what you're going to see in a lot of these diehards, and I think it's important. And I think it's great that people are using art to reflect which communities they're involved in. So anyways, digress from the GraphLink, but there it is, NFTs.
No, I mean, I hope that we do that. I think that it will keep things interesting if we keep the stream open to discussing stuff. People in chat are going to bring stuff up, and I don't think there's anything wrong. And like I said, I think at the end of the day, our video can be cut up into the tutorial to make it very concise. And this way we can kind of do what we do.
I'd like it to be, and this is just coming from me. I like to remember everything I'm doing, and I generally have a rule when I'm teaching someone. So this is how I like to learn as well. If I'm speaking, why aren't you writing it down? It's a very militaristic way to look at things. But if a teacher is speaking, why aren't you writing it down? And the beauty of having this in a stream format is that we have it written down, right? And I will be able to reflect on that as well. Like, okay, how did that get to that point? How did we do that? And then in a sense, we're building my own notebook to then be able to reach into, grab some tools from the toolkit and apply those again and again and again. And I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome.
This is a good question in the chat. A few years from now, which is an interesting, that's like a million years in crypto.
That's a million years.
Yeah. Do you think
that's a hot minute?
Do you think liquidity from the shitcoins will flow to other low cap and blue chip projects, or will we keep seeing shit projects cropping up?
Well, so first off, I would like to say, one, I'm not a financial expert, and I am not even a crypto expert. I'm not. But I will say, from spending way too much time in the underground, way too many times scouring Telegram and going through chat after chat Reddit, YouTube, all of these different groups. Stand by. Okay. After going through all of these things, it has come to my attention that you should always look at the contracts, because when we're talking about shitcoins, I would say a huge margin of them, and I would almost, the statistics are made up on the spot. I would say probably 80 to 90% of these projects are absolute scams. They're absolute scams. They're absolutely there to rug you. They're absolutely there to pull their liquidity out after they've sold. They are absolutely there to rip you off. There are so many of these, and those are the true shit coins, right? Those are the true shit coins. Those are coins without a good community, because a good community can make the difference between a shit coin. Because Bitcoin was a shit coin not even 5 years ago, 6 years ago, right? I mean, we're talking, it was, and now there's now that's the new shit coin, and then that's the new shit coin, and we keep pushing that. And if you end up going back and censoring these videos, there's gonna be a lot of beeping. But a lot of these tokens that you see, you have to do your research on. DYOR, don't even, just stop and think for a minute. Is this token going to make a $4 quadrillion market cap to make it to the point where I'm a multimillionaire? And that first question should start with analytics. That should start with the data. You should be able to look at that contract and see, is liquidity locked? Is, things of that nature. But as far as the money moving from shitcoins into other tokens, money moves in and out all day long, in and out all day long. And when you figure a lot of these shitcoins are on a layer 2 of some sorts, then you know that the decentralized exchanges will always win, and that the bridge keeper is going to make his money. You're going to spend a lot of money on gas, and it's gone to layer 2, so it has to go back from layer 2. So what's going to happen to the price of that token when everybody starts withdrawing from said shitcoin? I think that's something to look forward to. It's just, is the money going to keep moving? Is the money going to keep moving, or is it going to get withdrawn and deposited in somebody's bank account, and you're never going to see it ever again? So money moves as much as people let it. It really does.
Yeah, I think that eventually the technology is going to catch up to really clean up the industry as a whole. And I don't say that or hope or intend for that to be through regulation. I really would like to see that through the community as a whole coming up with solutions to, first of all, one of the things that's really interesting is I can't remember what project it was, but there's a project that started that's getting very big, and the founder of it is anonymous. And there's a problem where anonymous shouldn't be associated with, oh, it's a scam, or oh, it's not trustworthy. And it is right now. I mean, basically an anonymous dev team, and you basically, that's a red flag for a lot of people. So it really would be great to see some systems in place so that we can make better decisions on the fly about tokens.
And in touching on that, what I'd like to see is not so much, because doxing is a very funny thing. It's a very, very funny thing, because our number one token right now, right? Well, blockchain, your Bitcoin, there's a lot of speculation about Satoshi and who this individual or this entity or this group of people or this nation. We have no idea who Satoshi is. I don't care what anybody says. It is not, we have not been able to dial that into one single person. It's just like faith, who was XYZ religious leader, right? That's kind of where we're at. So doxing, I don't think is as essential. And I say that before I get flack on that. I say that because people are crazy, man. People are crazy. And if your product does not do well, if your project doesn't do well, or they see that the token came out and they bought some and it's going down, they immediately throw the scam button out there. This is a scam. My lawyer wants to talk to you. I dumped $3 million into this, and now I'm down to $250,000, or whatever the case might be. And now that person's in the line for a gamble that an individual took and lost at, somebody lost at that, or their roadmap didn't line up with what they actually fulfilled. It's tit for tat. Yeah, it is generally related with scams, but what I would like to see is that it won't matter if you dox or not, because I'd like to see us continue to evolve our blockchain and those blockchains layer 2s, right? So right now you can mint contracts to blockchains left and right. You can mint almost anything to Ethereum. But what if, and this is kind of crazy, what if it were impossible to do that without a specific liquidity that was going to be locked for that product to be used on that blockchain's self-established marketplace, in a sense? What if, I mean, I could what if this into the ground, but what if we made it so once the contract was there, you couldn't just pull liquidity? What if we made it so you could set the standards and where it's supposed to be and this and that, but a lot of that's based on how much you can actually afford of that? I just think there's more that we could do when it comes to listing this token on a decentralized exchange. If there were more proofing that took place for these decks.
Yeah, right now the onus is on you to do that level of research.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and I don't think that's necessary.
But also, I think at the same time though that also does hinder innovation and new projects from being able to come into fruition, is because a lot of those projects did start as, you know, maybe not the most verified, and they had to move. And I do agree with a level of standards, but I'm very wary of any kind of regulation. I mean, that's kind of like the whole like purist in that sense of. But
that's the beauty of it.
I want it so I can do it, and I can come up with how I'm going to run it, and that's the way it's going to be.
Right, but I think that's the beauty of it, right? Is it's not that it's the blockchain necessarily requiring that. Is you could have the decentralized exchanges requiring that, and just like Coinbase doesn't just list any coin that's out there, because God knows they'd never be able to keep up. But because there is a lot of like, well, we don't want to just put people into this place where they're buying a token that is 100% going to rug, or like, I mean, I'm not a coder, like, you know, I can't just look at a Solidity contract and be like, oh, this looks like good stuff. You know, I got to use like a contract sniffer, or I got to compare it to another contract and see if, okay, is this really how it is? And I think PancakeSwap is the one that's doing a little bit better. It'll warn you like, hey, one wallet holds over 75% of this token, just a heads up. Like, I think that's important stuff that could be better outlined. And hey, maybe we can use GraphLink to alert to those types of things, and to bring that knowledge to the forefront, or scrape for those contracts that are innovative and they are new people that are pushing them up, that really do have a legitimate project to stand on that they're trying to push, be it a shitcoin or what else, that it actually could check for those, you know, standards, those checks and balances on the contract. But thoughts?
Well, I don't know. I would like to see that. I'm tired of hearing that people got rugged.
I know.
Like that is just you know, because what's really unfortunate about that situation is we like to lay the blame on them and say, you know, it's your fault for not doing the research. But the problem is most of these people don't know how to do the research. They don't even know what to look for.
It's true. It's a wild west, man. It's a wild west, and we're just the prospectors out here trying to dig through all the dirt to get to the gems and the real gems. And a lot of people are just riding the wave, you know. They hear it, so they buy it, and that's where it goes.
But things like Coinbase's listing, like, okay, Coinbase, yes, they have their listing policy. I understand that, but I also think that also is a huge problem. I mean, things like, how long did they take to get some of these, I don't want to say a specific token, but some of these tokens onto their platform, and basically people who lived in the US or you know, in areas where a certain centralized exchange was their only option, you know, how long were they basically unable to get access to buying that token before it really took off? I mean, I just think that is also just
I can think of a specific incident I could think of 1,000 for Coinbase. What the main one that stands out to me, right, is when they did that Bitcoin Cash fork. You remember that?
Of course.
Or any of the forks, right? Bitcoin or Coinbase. If you held Bitcoin on Coinbase, you did not have access to your tokens after that fork was approved. They had to go in and add those addresses, and I think it was at least a couple weeks, I feel like, It was a ways before they supported Bitcoin Cash. I mean, that's detrimental. That like, I don't know. I don't like anything that's centralized, of course, but at the same time, there's a time and a place for it. But man, my heart goes out to individuals who they wanted to be forward thinkers. They wanted to be ahead of the times, and they aped into some of these projects before they even really had a thorough understanding of what cryptocurrency was. And I guess shame on them to an extent, but I think as a community, I think it's important, and it kind of, the responsibility doesn't fall on us, but I take up that responsibility. You know what I'm saying? I take up that responsibility of, hey, I want to teach as many people as possible. I want people to learn, like, this is what a shitcoin actually looks like. You know, I think it's important. But anyways,
Well, it's really funny too, because a lot of the people who get into those, they continue to do it over and over again because they're basically chasing gains, and they're looking for the easy money that they think they're going to be able to make overnight. And it's kind of sad to watch them do it and then regret it and then go back and do it again and not learn from that mistake.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's been good, sir. And what you got any other questions? Anybody in chat have any questions?
Yeah, so this weekend we're gonna pop open the IDE and get your first. Well, we'll probably start maybe in the app. It's a good place to start because the app is what really brings you to the IDE. So we'll have to get your wallet connected in there and go through the couple screens. I'm guessing you've been in there because you're staking, so you've been into the app before.
I was on the interface, or I was on the staking interface, if you will.
So that's the app is basically where everything kind of starts from. So we'll take a quick drive through there just so you can see the template wizard, and then we'll dive into the ID and we'll start making some. I think what would be great is just kind of going through some of the blocks and explaining what they are and doing some simple connections and making it do something. And you get that. You get that
poking the fish. Like.
It's such a great feeling to get that moment of I asked it to do this thing and it did that thing. So I'm really looking forward to that experience with you of getting to that. I'm all about it. I'm all for it. I think that I'm getting some of the things fixed on the stream. I'm realizing that the alert box for new subscribers is not on all of the scenes, so that's a good thing to have, so that we can thank them for their share. It's always nice when people join. So we're gonna attempt to stream again this weekend, and we're really gonna dive into the platform and actually make your first graph. We're going to keep it very simple. We're probably not going to do anything that's going to be super exciting where we're going to go and publish it on the marketplace for the first time around. But, I think getting an understanding of the blocks and, I'm really interested to see your take on how the blocks connect, because the blocks, you read about the input and output, and basically you process something through it and it passes it to the next block. And the inputs and outputs are color coded, so they kind of help you get an understanding. But I think that you're really going to see some places where we can improve to make that a little more useful for someone who hasn't spent some time in the IDE. It's getting to the point now where I've spent so much time in there that I've become very comfortable with the way things are. And
I'm gonna be stopping you a lot. Be like, whoa, hold on. You want me to? What am I clicking on? Is there a colorblind mode? Is there night mode? We got. Look at, there's questions right there. Do we got a colorblind mode?
High contrast mode.
High contrast mode. That works. Is colorblind derogatory now? Like, oh man, hope not. I feel targeted.
What colorblind are you?
I'm not. I was just making that up. But I have a lot of friends that are colorblind, so it makes it okay, right? It's all right. Nervous laughs. Yeah, I'm stoked. I'm stoked to get into it and yeah, like you said,
Oh,
see
I like
something.
that. Mint an NFT collection and distribute it among staked wallets.
I'm down. I'm down. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we're definitely open to suggestions. I know that there's a lot of people in the community who, the Graphling community, who uh, want to see some of these graphs made, but are not even the type of person who's gonna, poke around and give it a shot. So, we can make them. We could put them on the marketplace and make them available for people to get to, and at the same time also show how it's done, so that if you wanted to follow along and make your own, you could.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to do templates as well because I think, if you have to completely rebuild the graph every time, I think that'd be a bit redundant. And I like hearing that there are templates available because templates are life.
Yeah, not only are there templates, but you can take your existing graph that you've made and export it out and import it back in as a new. So basically, you kind of, because there's definitely tasks that I redo as a graph multiple times. So having that as something where you can just kind of pull that in really gives you kind of that jump start, and that's really the goal. I mean, so I don't know if I've ever given you my like explanation of what I see GraphLink being, but the way that I've described it in AMAs is that it is our goal really is for it to be, yeah, exactly. Somebody in chat already nailed it. Back when web design first became a thing, you had to learn HTML and be able to, and again, HTML is not even a programming language, it's a syntax, a markup language. But still, you're basically writing code, and to be able to do that, the average person had to go and seek somebody out to be able to do it, or they had to learn how to do it. And now with WordPress, Webflow, Wix, all of these other ones, it's all no code, point and click, and get an end product. And that's kind of what GraphLink is shooting for, is to be that level of, I'm not a web designer.
Yeah, like the next widget, the next put this on your website, and it's I think back to the MySpace days. Oh my gosh, where your MySpace, where your Zanga, you would have like the counter at the bottom of the screen, or you'd have it play audio and things of that nature. Those were templates, right? Those are things that people, they'd get the code, and that was back in the day when we had to actually you actually had to copy paste template from somewhere and get that code just right, or you weren't able to see your top 8 and you'd be in some trouble. But I want to jump into this I kind of want to jump into this before we're on this. I'm looking at the template wizard now.
Yeah, and somebody made a good point, is that at the end of the day, the incentive that is there for those developers who are creating things that are still really amazing, there is marketplaces on WordPress and all those others where you can pay for a template and start with that as what you're building on and go from there. So you kind of get that jump start. So now you've got your platform, WordPress or whatever it is, and then you've got your template made by somebody who's got the skills to give you that jump start, and then you've got the ability to use the two of those together to then leverage and build from. So yeah, I mean, that basically is
yeah, it's becoming a widget. It's going to become a widget. Like, next level, build your stuff through us. I think that's the overall goal. That's kind of what you're going through, right? Like,
is that question about selling graphs that's in the chat? Because
I think it's I think he's saying like, hey, now if you build these, if you develop the stuff within the program, then you're also going to get paid for it. Like, if you're building a good graph that people want, I think that's what a poor VETH, is that what a poor VETH? I think that's what they're going for. I want to make sure, but
yep. Yeah, so that's basically the marketplace is gonna really allow for those people who can shine to give something to the people who can then build upon it. And then also another big part of the marketplace too, that I haven't touched on yet, is you can put up a I forget the word we use for it, but you can post a project. So nowadays, if you want to develop something on the blockchain, the method for doing it is you got to seek out a developer. You've got to probably come up with some kind of description of what you want built, and if you don't lay that out correctly, they're gonna basically do it exactly as somebody says it. So the idea is that we're basically offering the same thing through the marketplace, but we've kind of flipped it around. So rather than saying, oh, I need to get a graph that does this, I'm willing to pay $100 and $200, whatever it is, and you have to put some money up front and lock the money into like an escrow, and at the end of the day you get it. The idea is in the marketplace you can put up kind of a bounty and say, I'm looking for a template that does this, I'm willing to offer this much GLQ for it. And then developers can come along and see that there is people looking for this and be able to develop it. So kind of the idea is kind of to flip the whole thing around and make it where somebody can just say, hey, this is what I'm looking for, I would like to be able to do, and initially incentivize the developers to build the kind of graph that they're looking for, and hopefully leverage multiple people who are looking for it and see that there's a demand for it.
Yeah, I think finding that demand is not going to be difficult. If it's cookie cutter, man, I think a lot of it's just getting it out there and having the know-how or the whereabout to use it, right? Because I can think of 3 or 4 instances in the top of my head I would have used GraphLink. Provided it does what it says it does, I would have used GraphLink for sure. Which, of course, still skeptical. I'm still going to go at it. Yeah, I like it.
And that's a great, somebody also I'm still working on figuring out how to say that.
I think it's either a poor vet or poor vet. You're gonna have to explain it to us, bro.
Yeah,
You're
gonna
have to explain
give
it
us
to us.
a
I want to address you appropriately, sir.
Yeah, give us a phonetic breakdown. So what I was gonna say is, I totally got lost on that whole thing. Building graphs, the marketplace,
cookie cutter, what GraphLink, what you want to see GraphLink become. I'm looking at the templates. We can talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you should share your screen.
All right.
I'll take my stupid face off so that people can see the full screen.
Oh, don't talk about my friends that way.
Nice.
You're welcome. All right, let's see here. Dun, 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 dun. All right, screen 2.
Oh yeah, what I was gonna mention is there is some things in the works in terms of being able to show that you are proficient in creating these graphs. So obviously you post them on the marketplace and you're going to make a name for yourself. What's going on with your screen? How come they don't have icons?
I don't know. Want to refresh it?
I
don't know. It's not my site.
So one of the things that I really want to work towards is being able to show your proficiency. Now, obviously, you can sell them on the marketplace and show that you have that proficiency, but also looking to take what we develop from these tutorials and from this the stream and turn it into kind of a learning and show that you've gone through the steps to be able to do this, because maybe you want to be able to get some jobs outside of here that you use GraphLink, and who better to get that kind of information from than jr00t? Yeah, there should be icons that go along with that. What browser are you in?
Edge.
Oh,
US standard.
get out of Edge. Come on, brah. Do you use Bing? You crazy person.
I left this as total default.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of interesting because I was not aware that Edge had some problems displaying the
see, I'm on it already. All right, so we've got cool. So looks pretty cut and dry. Watching.
Yeah, somebody in the chat use Brave.
Yeah, that's what everybody's saying. I need to make that switch. I haven't taken that dive yet, guys. I need to. I really should.
Do you have Chrome? I mean, the thing is, you're gonna have to connect your wallet again. So.
Oh, I'm not moving this wallet into Chrome, sir. It's not happening. Not tonight, anyways. I will when we get a bit more in depth, I guess. I don't have anything in this particular wallet. I've got 0.04252 GLQ in this wallet. I hide my stuff.
More burner wallets, exactly.
I hide my stuff, sir. Dope. So yeah, templates look solid. I like that. I mean, I like what I'm seeing as far as what they have. Sell market order, buy market order. That's some pretty in-depth stuff. User command Discord get price. Oh, this is dope. This is dope. Return all data's informations of a specific token.
Well, that idea didn't
bot
work.
To fetch infos. Discord bot to fetch.
Yeah,
data.
that idea didn't work. Sorry about that. Sir, seed phrase. Gosh.
Sir, seed phrase. Oh man.
Yeah, exactly.
This
Not only that,
right
but
look,
use the Brave, and you also accumulate some bat while you're at it. I've been using Brave since it came out. The amount of bat you get definitely has gone down.
Are you like a bat whale right now? Whale bats? Space bats?
I got a pretty good chunk just from using their browser. I'm a fan of it. It's got built-in ad block. I'm telling you, you can watch YouTube. I shouldn't even say that, but you know, you can watch those videos and not have to deal with any of those pesky things that happen while you're watching them. And I don't know. Yeah, so, well, I really wish you could actually see the full thing because. But yeah, I mean, if you want, you can go ahead and name your graph and then pick one of them and click on it. And
all right, let's name it jr00t.
Those are zeros, my friend.
Yeah, you're right. jr00t pupil. Right? Is that how you spell pupil for that? No local single moms. That's the only downside of Brave.
But they're in my area.
How dare Brave be so brave to be so honest?
But they're in my area. They're like literally, it's like 3 miles away.
In your hair.
Every single time. They're always that close. They're literally right next to me.
Leave my mother out of this.
All
right, so
I'm trying to think what would be a good one to there's I think there's one that will get the gas price.
There is. Watch your gas price from Ethereum chain.
There you go. Maybe do that one.
All right, let's do it.
So yeah, so then you basically get the option of next will keep you in the template wizard and bring you to what you need to do next, and the edit on IDE will take that template and open it in the IDE for you. So kind of can do one or the other.
Let's do the template here. Let's see what we got.
Oh, so this is going to send it out to Discord. So, yeah, so this is where it's going to get a little interesting, and I think that we're going to have to do a separate tutorial on just how to get your Discord ID, how to get your Telegram token and whatnot, because without that, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so it looks pretty simple.
And your Etherscan API. So those are definitely some things we're going to have to show how to get. Maybe we need a link next to those with some information so that people know how to get them.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if there are a little question mark right here that we're just, if I hover over it, Like there's like this up here, this we're down here.
Yeah, for those ones that people
know what
are
I'm
not going to know.
Yeah, and I think it should all be dummy proof. This should be Alex proof. Check if gas price is upper than. Okay, so we've got some, some grammatical things, and that's okay. But what is 150? Is this Gue? I'm assuming, and
That is Gue. Good point.
Right. So if gas price is higher than this, okay, gas price is higher than 150. If
that's the log message.
Yeah. What's a log? Okay, so that's like. I think what it's saying is, hey man, this gas way too high. It's like higher than 150, bro. One seed, sir. Like that. I think that's what it's going for.
Yeah, so that log message is going to be what gets displayed in the logs for your graph. It is not the message that goes to Discord.
Oh, so it's not. Oh, that's this here.
So there's actually kind of a print message that comes out in the console to let you know that, because basically by putting in a log message, and we'll talk about this when we really start to dive in, it's a really great way to make sure your graph is running correctly, because maybe your Discord isn't set up correctly, but if you look in the logs for your graph when it's running and you can see the log message is getting triggered, then you know that the graph is doing what it's supposed to, but it's having problems towards the end of it when it's doing the Discord part. I'll definitely dive into that some more when we get to it.
Yeah. Yeah, let me take some notes here real quick.
Yeah, and I think that there's probably...
I want to take notes while I'm doing this, just so I can write down my thoughts, because it doesn't do any good for me to go through and not have some
I'm gonna open another window for myself that's outside of yours.
All right, so some things to think on. So
let me connect my wallet so that I don't have to show that on screen.
One seed, sir.
Yeah, one seed soon. How's that? I told you my seed phrase. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down.
Oh, savage. Okay, so question marks, right? So we had that. So some verbal syntax.
Oh, wow. So apparently there is something going on with the interface because...
Well, I'm going to find all the bugs.
Yeah, because I'm seeing the same thing. I'm going to share my screen in a moment. I'm seeing the same thing that the templates don't have an image with them anymore. I don't know if they got taken off or if something changed or what happened with that. That's very interesting.
Something to think about.
Something to broke it. What happened there?
Did you break it?
Did I do it? It's possible. I'll just throw it out there. Like, that is possible. Actually, it looks like maybe there was an update to the ID because I'm having some issues now.
A poor VETH says gas will cost you a kidney. You better not transact. I believe it. I've given my kidneys to the bridge keeper many a time. Many a time.
I'm in Brave, and I am having some issues here. Oh, there it goes. I think maybe my browser just needed to be refreshed.
Well, I want mine to do that.
One of the things that I like about the interface is... Hang on, I'm almost back to sharing my screen again. There we go.
Still not bringing mine in.
So one of the things that's nice in the interface is that you do have the ability to put notes onto your graph in the IDE. So that kind of gives you a the ability to kind of log what these things are and allow somebody to be able to
So I'm gonna maximize your screen because you're showing me some stuff.
I'm not able to move things.
But this is the interface. This is where the magic happens, correct?
This is where the magic happens. Yeah, I don't know why I'm having some technical difficulties here with not being able to move the graph. Yeah, that's really weird. I wonder if we just released an update and we got something going on a little funky here, because
That's all right. I think it's the beauty of this project, though, is it is a moving, working piece. And if anyone has questions, if their devs are working on this project regularly, man, I mean, it's good to see. Well, one, I know you, and I know you're working.
Disabled. What? This is crazy. Yeah, this is interesting. It looks like, I don't know if this was a change to Brave, but I'm basically seeing that developer tools have been, you know what? Oh, it's because it's actually my fault. It's because I'm using that kiosk mode for my browser. Let me see if this takes me out of kiosk mode. I'm not really, no, I think it's been started in kiosk mode, so now it only knows how to do kiosk mode in here. Will you let me start another instance of it? No, you will not. Let me see if I can start it. Well, that's a good thing to remember, is that I can't use kiosk mode with your browser to get rid of the menu bar when I have you on screen, because that causes some issues.
That's what I'm here for.
Here we go. We're gonna see if I can.
Look at all these hacks. Look at this hacker, man.
Do that.
About to do it. He's hacking in the mainframe. Oh, jeez, Rick, you really gotta hack right now?
Telling you, Morty. You just give me 10 minutes. What? You got nothing to worry about, Morty.
Yeah, I know. Because the one is in. I can't get out of developer mode. I mean, out of. I mean, you know, I can just do this. I can go into Chrome, and then this way it actually is better because the wallet that's in here is not a real wallet. It's a testing wallet, so yay for that. Do love a good testing wallet.
Oh, yeah. Bring us a test wallet. Bring all your wallets to be tested. Ooh, passwords. Is it going to show asterisk or is it going to show it? Oh, look at you go. Privacy veil it is.
How to do it. How to do
it. Did we
it.
lose all our viewers yet?
Oh, he's not going to give out his passwords. I'm not staying. Come on. So now, here we go. I'm in Chrome, and I can actually do what I wanted to do. That's better. Yeah, so that actually looks like there's something going on with the, there's no images in the IDE anymore. Very, very interested to find out why.
It's all good.
Oh God, and now stupid, I installed Coinbase wallet to try it out to see what it looks like, and now it's overwriting. I don't use Chrome for, I use Chrome for like testing, and of course now it's overriding MetaMask. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Alright, anyway. I should be good now. I'm about to pop open that gas watcher. Edit on IDE. Let's see how this goes. There we go. Oops, that was the wrong graph. I meant to open, there we go, Watcher, edit on IV. Ah, alrighty, here we go. Let me share my screens.
This is the first of many breaks that we're gonna do on this.
No, I love it. I mean, that's what we need to do. We need to break some stuff to figure out why make it not do it. But yeah, so we're gonna need an Etherscan API key, so we're gonna have to go grab one of those. Luckily, I think my Etherscan is gonna be saved in here. Oh god, man, oh man, they definitely have to. Definitely gonna have to get some of this automated set up. You gotta be kidding me. Bicycle, bicycle, bicycle. What a pain. We definitely need to get rid of some of this stuff. Alright, API key. Here we go. Nice. Let's put our Etherscan IP in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to ditch the Discord bot and just turn this into a very, very simple graph where it's going to hit Etherscan. It's going to check. And rather than dumping the message out to Discord, we'll just let it dump it out in the log so you can see it. And yeah, so I wonder what is gas at right now, actually.
Good question. If only we had a bot for that.
You killing me, bruh.
You're welcome.
Well, I'm gonna run it. We'll find out. So
I had to make a guess. Let's put bets on it. I'm gonna guess 150 plus.
oh my god. See, look at this crap. Coinbase wallet is now overriding Etherscan. I mean, MetaMask.
Yeah, slow is 167 Goy right now.
167.
Yup.
Well, then running this, and this is ridiculous. Hang on, I'm gonna go into my extensions and turn off this stupid Coinbase wallet. I honestly downloaded it just so that I could see how crappy it is, was really my goal.
Yeah.
And it worked because it's crappy.
Yeah.
Oh god, and Coinbase didn't release the connection. This is fantastic. This is so much fun. I love it.
It's good for you.
All right, cool. Now it looks like we actually are connected with the right wallet. So I probably could actually go back to the ID. It's probably in my cache. Here we go. Finally. And I can move the graph. Fantastic. Alright, cool. So real quick, just to make this a little more simple, I'm going to ditch the Discord connection. Because I don't have a Discord key in front of me. And I closed Etherscan down, and I probably don't... Oh, good. I still do have it. Alright, cool. So we're gonna... Oops, I did that wrong. That's supposed to go over here with the Etherscan key. Initialize Discord, you can go away too. So what's lots of fun is, I can kind of explain a little bit about what you're seeing here. I'm just going to try to move everything a little closer. Let's see what happens real quick. Editing live on stream. I do love doing these live on screen because it doesn't always work.
Cicero says, hello, I'm back to your jr00t. Keep calm. Yes. Keep calm. Graph link on. Keep calm and graph on. I think that's our first shirt. I think that's the first shirt design.
I kind of like that.
If we start doing some different merch options for everybody, I think it'd be dope. I'm gonna have to fire up the t-shirt printer, get stuff situated. That'd be awesome.
We're gonna just increase the timer on this, because otherwise I'm gonna be sitting here waiting for it to execute.
So what does the timer do exactly?
It's a great question. There you go. Gas is upper than 150. So what your timers do is it's kind of like putting your code into a loop and telling it to just take whatever actions that the timer's connected to every 25 seconds in this case.
Okay.
Let me clean some of this up. And what's nice about these is they do have a little bit of text in there to kind of help make it a little easier for you to figure out. Let's bring those a little closer together. Let's move our Etherscan connection a little closer over here. Should be able to fit this all on one screen. Would be fantastic if I could do that. You know, one of the things this does in the examples that it comes with, but in my opinion, is probably not the best way to start doing it. Unless, you know what, actually, since you're learning it, probably the best way to do it is you can set things as variables, which allow you to, so basically, let's start with the ends, right? So you have a place that your graph is going to start, and those can be something like a timer, because that's always going to be executed by the timer. And you can actually just declare the start function if you want. There's a block that is called on start. It's right here on graph start. So whatever this then connects to afterwards is going to be the beginning of when it starts. But in this case, we're using the timer entry, and that's going to do that. So down here, what this does is we're working with this block here called the Etherscan connector. And the Etherscan connector takes in one variable, and you'll notice that this block is in green because it's looking for a string. So that's this little block right here, and you'll notice that has an output that you can connect to. And in this case, and actually what's really cool is there is a secret string, which is, I can take this key, stick it in there, and now you can't see my API key, but it's being passed into here. It's kind of nice.
Oh, that's cool.
So basically then, right, so this is your connector, and you're giving it an API key, and what that's going to do is that's going to connect to Etherscan, which is the API that allows you to get data about the blockchain. And so, right, so this is your first connector, and you have the out from it, and you have the Etherscan connection. So basically this is going to initialize a connection, and then create the connection is literally this out block is the connection to Etherscan. And if you wanted to, you could actually connect that up here. So one of the things you could do is you could actually get rid of this whole variable. I'm going to get rid of this because I'm going to make this even easier. Oh, the problem is, you're not going to be able to use the timer if you do it that way. I shouldn't have done that. Let me think if I can redo that a different way. I should have left it the way it was.
You're going to be breaking stuff.
Yeah, I should have left it the way it was.
This is, so for the basics, right? This is your interface. This is when you're saying the ins, the outs, the wiring. Like,
yeah, this is your
graph. This is what a graph looks like, correct?
This is right. This is what it, well, actually, a graph looks like a text file, a GLQ file with a lot of code in it, but this is where you can open it and actually work on it.
This is the user interface.
Right. It's called an IDE, which stands for Integrated Development Environment. And basically all that means is that it is integrated into development environment. So yeah, so basically what this does though is this creates what's called a variable, and all that is a name that you can reference in other places. So rather than having to connect this Etherscan connection to the actual block that goes onto Etherscan and gets the gas price, you can set it as a variable and pass in the value, which is your connection, and then name it Etherscan. So anywhere that you do a get variable, sorry about that. Anywhere that you do a get variable, which is this right here, you can pass in the name Etherscan and it will pass this connection to it. So what's kind of nice about that is while you're building your blocks out and your graph, you don't have to make this connection go across the screen to get to where it is. You can kind of build this little section right here, and that's kind of its own little thing that you can reference, and you can reference it as many times as you need it, because maybe you're going to do more than just get the gas price. Maybe you're also going to connect to Etherscan to get some other data. And doing that, you would need another block, basically. Okay. So that's the variable, right? And the timer is our start. So things like a connection and other things will automatically be executed. So in this case, your connection will get set up first, and your timer will be the next piece that kicks in this instance. And basically all this timer does is say every 30 seconds, start this path. So your ins and outs are the paths that your graph is going to follow. It's your logic path, basically, of what's going to happen next. So in this case, every 30 seconds, it is going to kick off wherever this goes along these yellow lines. And like I said, instead of passing in the connection from down here, I mean, I literally could just connect this to right here, and that would work. But it's probably good to learn this as doing variables because they're reusable and they're friendly. But yeah, I mean, if I really wanted to, I literally could just do that, and the connection would get initialized first, and you wouldn't actually need to connect the out. Same as this, there's no out to this because this is really just the end of this, and because it's a connector, it gets initialized first. So that's something that we probably need to clear up and talk about as maybe one of the streams is, what gets initialized first, why they do, and how to, work with that. So basically this whole block, all it does is it gets the Ethereum gas price. So your logic is following in here with this yellow line, and it's using this connection that we set down here. And then it's going to do, so you follow the out, it's going to take the proposed gas price, and it's going to use what is called an integer branch, which is basically allowing you to compare two values. So as you know, the graph was checking to see if gas is greater than 150. So what you do is you pass in the gas price and you pass in the integer of 150. So integers are basically exactly like a string, except they just hold a number. So yeah, there's an integer. And you can see they're orange, so that's how you know that these actually do connect correctly. And so basically the Etherscan is going to return the proposed gas price, value A, and this integer is going to allow us to change if we wanted to use a different number. So gas is more than 150 right now, but in this case, we're going to use 150 as that. And then on the output side, your logic then is going to continue to keep flowing along this yellow path, and the question is, what do you want to find out? Do you want to find out if it's greater than, greater or equal to, absolutely equal to, which means it would have to be the exact number, less than or equal to, or less than? So basically, in this instance, if it is 150 or more, because we're saying equal to or greater than, then follow this path. So when your graph gets executed on this timer every 30 seconds, when it gets to here and it's less than 150, it's not going to do anything because we haven't connected it here. It's only going to follow this logic line because it is greater than. And then you haven't
always going to be pinging because, gas lately.
Right. Well, it is right now, but what we can do after we get through this, we can actually set one up for lower than and change the gas price that we're looking for higher than 150, and you'll see it execute going out the other logic block. So that would be actually really cool because you're going to see kind of how you could create logic for one or the other. So what this is doing, this execution timer is basically forcing the last time it checked for the gas price to be not as fast. So even though you're checking the gas price every 30 seconds, you're not checking Etherscan every 30 seconds because eventually you're going to hit your cap. So you basically are able to use, you don't have to use that, but it's a way to slow it down. Right, so we'll dive back into that, but again, you have a timer with your intervals and an in and an out, and if this logic happens and follows this path through here, you're going to end up with this print, and prints are what go in the little terminal down here, so you can see gas upper than 150. So we'll do that when we run it again. You'll see that message comes out down there. Those are your log messages, are prints. That's basically the same thing.
Dope.
So what we're gonna
I will say, I will stop you because
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to get offline. But I'm stoked to drive. I'm stoked to drive and to start from nothing and go in. This is awesome. This is really cool. I like seeing the back end. I still see where it's a lot of coding knowledge has to be a little bit there.
Yeah, there's definitely. I think that what I need to do is I need to explain what they do, and together we need to find a way to word these so that the average person is able to understand them. And it would be great maybe if we added some links, because we do have the ability to add links and stuff to these graphs, and basically bring them to kind of a help file to explain. So yeah, if you check this really quickly, I upped the gas to checking at 500, and
nice.
When it got to here, it went through the lower than path, and that's why it came out this time and said the string lower in the print screen. So again, if you were to change that back to 150, you would see this run through. We're actually going to show this different message that's going to come up with those exclamation points. And then the idea is, printing out the message is great, but the idea is that eventually you would want to take that and run with that logic. Maybe you want something to happen when the gas price gets lower. So maybe you're waiting, and then you could execute that out to make that happen. What is kiosk mode? Real quick, let me just say that. Kiosk mode is a way to make your browser not have the menu bar. So when I was sharing Alex's video, I didn't want it to show all that. I wanted it to just be as small as possible. So the idea is like a kiosk in a, that you walk up to and you do things. You know what I mean by kiosk? How do I explain it what a kiosk is?
Yeah, it's like
that's the only way I can describe
for directions. Or
yeah, it's like you walk up.
Get a pamphlet.
It's like usually a touch screen. It's like they have them in the movie theaters now where you can buy tickets like that. That's a kiosk. It's a self-serve. A lot of restaurants have that too, like a self-serve. Yeah, good stuff. Kiosk mode. This was fun, and I'm really looking forward to diving in this weekend. Having to explain this, like I said earlier, makes me realize how difficult these are to understand what it is they're doing, because the naming of them is still very coder
Yeah,
named.
it's so my first take on the project, right? This will be the takeaways, I guess. So my takeaway is it could be very, very beneficial for somebody that knows nothing about coding. It's not quite there yet at all, but at the moment, it does look like it's an incredible supplemental tool for somebody that does do a lot of coding and they understand. They already have the fundamentals down, right? They already know, okay, I need this, this, and this, and you're taking away potentially hundreds of hours of them typing and going through the code individually to produce this product, and you're giving them a user interface that eliminates that, and it also provides them with a visual representation of their code, which as there are many different types of learning styles and things of that nature, I think that's very important. It's a very important aspect of it.
One thing I would add to that, and then I'm going to let you go, is that not only is it giving you all of that, but the other thing that it's giving you is, if you were to try to open up a scripting language and connect to Etherscan, you would probably need some sort of third-party piece of software that does the connection to Etherscan. You would also need a server to let your code run on, so that it's running 24/7 and checking the gas price to then execute it. So by using this, that cuts out, the idea is it's an instant on solution. The idea is that you don't have to code up a bunch of things to be able to make these connections. They're already sitting there waiting for you. So those are two big factors too, the instant on, and also the you're using servers that you don't have to worry about maintaining.
It's a full suite. I mean, it's a really incredible full suite product. That's what I'm saying. I see it even if it at this time, like where we're at, because I haven't been able to dive into it and see, just how user friendly it is. But even just from like the first brush with this, I'm seeing, okay, this is a very powerful suite that could be very, very beneficial, or it is very beneficial. There are a lot of people, that use this, it seems, already. I mean, it's a good suite. I mean, this is like, hey, you don't have to worry about all this other stuff. Just come in, make your graph, put it together, and then put it to good use. And I think that speaks volumes, especially if it's already establishing itself. If it's something that, you use it, and you've shown me before some of the wizardry and how well it does at working with Telegram, working with Discord, and the interface itself. And then, yeah, I guess major takeaways. I like it a lot. I am excited to get into this, and maybe some of it will be a little bit of a chore for me to learn, but that's important. When somebody wants to know something, it's how you gotta want it. It's not enough to just want it. Like, you gotta need to use this, in a sense. For me, that's what I've put myself at, is I need to be able to use this. I really want to be able to use this, and I think with that drive, and for us, putting together these series, I really hope other people are they can see that I can do it. I have no doubt that they're going to be wanting to produce really, really cool graphs, and bringing those to their community and recommending that to their communities, because I certainly will. Like, if and when I start seeing that, hey, this is what I make, this is what I can build with this thing, let's go, I'm definitely going to be throwing this thing up. So
yeah, man, I'm excited. Thank you guys who stuck around in the stream. I know we kind of were a little all over the place. We're kind of this was just a test. Obviously, I needed to get some things worked out with the stream and make sure we're going to all the places we're supposed to go to, and sharing screens as possible, and everyone can see Alex and hear him. But thank you for sticking around. I appreciate all the people who subscribed and followed, and we will be back soon and focused on really doing some stuff with the platform, and here to answer questions too. So if you're having some issues with your graph or looking for some improvements, who better to bring it to than me?
Yeah, we're gonna get our hands dirty.
Yeah. In the meantime, check us out in the Telegram chat for GraphLink. You can find us in there, and I guess we'll see you soon.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for sticking around.
Cheers. Peace.